We are truly living in the last days. Time as we know it is winding up. The events that our prophets prophesied are being fulfilled right now as I speak before our very eyes. We have entered into the time that the heathen labeled apocalypse. And as we mentioned in previous videos, the apocalypse, the word apocalypse, actually did not come from the Hebraic mindset. It came from the Greek mindset. It came from the European mindset. It came from the white supremacy mindset. And one of the things that we've been discovering lately is that the way they read the Bible and the way we read the Bible is two different ways. The Hebrews of the Bible, the Israelites, were not supposed to look at the revelation as something scary. Never. We were never supposed to look at the book of the Revelation as something scary. We were not supposed to be looking at the book of the Revelation, watch this, as something satanic. Unfortunately, a whole lot of our people don't read the book of the Revelation because they believe that the Revelation is about the devil and the Antichrist. Oh my. Yo, I already got to get out the room. I came in the room and got to get out of here. I done said enough. I said they believe that it is about the devil, about the Antichrist. And I'm one of the few people on planet Earth that actually took out time and read every word, did research every word, every line, compared every line in that book with the rest of the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation. Took, like 3-4 years. And when I came away with the conclusion was not the conclusion that the European came away with. The European came away and said, it's scary. It's the apocalypse. It's the end of the world. Now listen to me, Zion. For him. Talk more, right? Y'all saw the thumbnail. I act like you see a thumbnail. You know what's written in the thumbnail. Hold on for a second. Let me get my water. You saw the thumbnail. You saw it. What did it talk about, Moray? The mindset. That's what we're talking today. Our study today is about the mindset when it comes to the apocalypse. Now, if you can hear me all right and see me okay. Now, look, I don't know about the internet connection. I don't know how it is up here on these high mountains. But if you can see me and you can hear me, would you place a 12 in the chat for the 12 tribes of Israel? Let me see if anybody can hear me, because y'all, I cannot tell at all if you can see me or hear me. Oh, I see a 12. And look, I see blue wrenches in the room. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right, I didn't see who that was. I think it was singing. Shalom. I think it was singing. It might have been Yahrahn. What we're talking about is the mindset. Surviving the apocalypse. As I mentioned before, it begins with the right mindset. Fixing the mindset. Because we were given the wrong mindset. Now let's prove these things before I go any further. Let's prove these things. Anybody in the chat right now, I know it's only about 150 people. I just started the chat. More people will come in. But for you 147, 150 people that's in the room right now, did anybody watching me hear people saying when you was growing up that the book of the Revelation was a scary book? If anybody has heard that other than the Moreh, will you please put a 21 in the chat? That 21 will mean yes. I heard that before. Let's see. Look, somebody said 21. I mean, yes. So you know I'm not lying. Somebody told you that that book was scary. And you believed it. Your grandma believed it. Your grandpa believed it. Your great-grandpa, your pastor. And let me tell you something. As a result of that mindset, most of y'all didn't even read the book. How many of you all, I'm just talking, how many of you all in this room, other than those that have been following the ARK, how many of y'all could honestly, once again, agree with the Moreh? Very few sermons and Bible studies and lessons when you were growing up were out of the book of the Revelation. If you would be honest and say that as you grew up, you did not study the book of the Revelation when you were growing up. I'm not talking about those that's following the ARK, because, you know, we've been through it already. But everybody else, when you were growing up, if you could honestly say, no, that wasn't one of our main study books. If you can say that that was not one of your main study books, type this in the chat. It was not. Write it down. Just them 3 words. It was not. Let me see if anybody beside me can confess that, no, we didn't study the Revelation. Say it was not. Who's that? Said Ike was the first one I saw in the room. I think that was Derek, Jesse. I don't know who that was. They're moving too fast now. Yes. Saying it, no, it was not. You didn't learn it. You didn't learn the book of the Revelation. Because they said it was scary. And because they said you wasn't going to be here anyway. That was another lie too. Anybody, we're going to do this for a minute. Anybody in the chat want to tell the whole world that somebody told you that you wasn't going to be here anyway, not to worry about it? Right in the chat. That's what they told me. Right in the chat. Look, we're going to let the world know the Moreh ain't coming in here all by himself. Right in the chat. If you heard that you wasn't going to be here anyway, you wasn't going to be here no way, write that in the chat. That's what they told me. You can write it country just like I said it. I know I'm country. Y'all, I can't help it. I grew up out here. This is my homeland. This is how I grew up, just like this. So sometimes I talk, country. Write it just like that. That's what they told me. You got to understand the psychological trauma, the psychological, okay, I see. The psychological game and the psychological, what's the word I'm trying to, manipulation that gives you, I'm talking to the Israelites, that give you a Bible and then tell you when you read this Bible, don't read this book right here, or you can't understand this book, or this book is scary, or this book, don't worry about it because you're not going to be here no way, and all of that. The mindset of a heathen that would teach that, them lies, false doctrine, false teaching that would teach that to us, they must be from the depths of hell. Matter of fact, they named the book, they started calling the book the Apocalypse. Catastrophic events that was coming, that was going to destroy the world. But they lied. Now, it is coming. Hold on, Moray. Don't get ahead of yourself, Moray. It's coming now. Woo-wee. Oh, my. It's coming. Don't think it ain't now. Don't think. Look. It's going to be so catastrophic, so worldwide. It will be so apocalyptic that every event that happens, an event that follows it is worse and worse and worse and worse. I believe that now. That's what is written in the Bible. Stars going to fall from heaven. Wormwood is going to hit the sea. Earthquakes in diverse places. The rich, the poor, the free, and the bond, they're going to be running to the rocks and to the mountains, talking about following us and hide us from the face of the Lamb. That's coming. Don't think that's not coming. Don't think that's not coming. A third of the earth vegetation destroyed. It's coming. All that's coming. The naval ships sunk is coming. Yes, for sure. Bread price is going to be off the chain. Oil and wine. We don't things not hurt. There'll be more value on that than people. Preach more, Ray. It was coming. Plagues, diseases, famine, war, bloodshed, the mouth of hell open, and demons of damnation wreaking havoc. On the citizens of this world. Yeah, apocalypse is real now. Every line of it. Every word of it. But watch this. But it ain't for me. It's for you, heathens. What's wrong with y'all? Did I change the whole mindset? What more, right? It ain't for me. If you know that all of these cataclysmic events are going to happen, all of this death, all this disease, all this hunger, pain, and suffering is coming on the world to destroy the world as we know it, you will feel a certain way until somebody like the Moray show up and say, oh, I read the book. You read it? They told us not to read it. I don't give a damn what they told you. I read my book. Well, what'd you find out? I found out it wasn't against us. What we see in the revelation ain't against us. What we see in the revelation is against them. Now, if you understood that, put a 100,000 in the chat. On this beautiful day. Put a 100,000, please. I gotta see that. I ain't gonna move on until I see at least one person out of the 200 and something folks that made it in the room already. We ain't even been in here 30 minutes yet. We almost getting up to 300 people in the room. Let me just see if one person say, I agree with you, Mo Ray. Oh, yeah. You see it. It changes everything, don't it? It changed the whole mindset. Did you really read that book? Yes. Did you really study it? Yes. Did you really compare all of the verses with all the background verses and all the Torah? Yes. So what is your conclusion? It ain't about us. All of that wickedness and stuff. I'm going to straighten out the house of Israel, by the way. Let me straighten you all out a little bit. I know that everybody watches me. I don't care if YouTube ever put up the true numbers of the people who watch my videos. I don't care. That's irrelevant. I know everybody watches me because you watching me right now. And if you watching me, everybody else is watching me. So when I say things, I'm straightening out everybody. Why? I'm a seer. The job of the seer is to see. My job is not to promote doctrine. My job is not to promote white Christianity. My job is not to promote a camp. My job is not to promote a person other than my King Yahushua. I said something yesterday. I need to clarify it. When I said I was a gift to the house of Israel, that was not a statement of arrogance. What I was trying to say, I'm gonna clarify it, is that when Yahushua HaMashiach, our King, when he suffered and bled and died on our behalf, on behalf of the covenant, please don't get that, on behalf of the covenant, it said that he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. And you go through these gifts, you will see that he gave gifts, plural, to the assembly, to the awakening remnant. And these gifts began really with the seer. But there's also people that are gifted as seers, those that hear, those that have help, those that do ministry, discernment. There's a bunch of gifts that he has given to the assembly. The problem is most of the people are not working in their gift. And the reason they're not working in their gift is they're lazy as hell. And as a result of being lazy, they don't know how to wait on their ministry, which means work. The word wait means to work. So because they don't work on their ministry, they don't work on, if they're supposed to be giving, they don't work on giving. If they're supposed to be helping, they're not working on helping. If they're supposed to be healing people, they're not going to work and healing people and learning about the body and about the health and strength and this and that and how the body works and all that. All of the gifts that were given to the body is not magic. It's not magical gifts. That's not what he did. He didn't give us a bunch of magic and say, okay, now you're a musician. Poof, you're a magician. That's a musician. Reminded me of a video I saw. Embarrassed me. But anyway, he did not turn us into magicians. He gave us jobs to do, work to do. And those works that we do were supposed to be for the betterment of the assembly. So that one of the gifts he has given to the assembly is the seer. And when I read that, I understood why it was important that I operate as a biblical seer, because this is a gift. I am a gift that Yah set apart to give to his people, not to myself. The gift is what I'm doing for the body, not the person. Did that make sense? Why? Because in these last days, we need this particular gift, which is what? Showing people the Bible. They don't know it. And by the way, since I'm out here, I might as well say it. I'm full-time. Who are you? I'm Dr. Yoshiyahu Dawid ben Israel, called by Yah, set apart by him to be a spiritual gift to the house of Israel. What is your gift, Moreh? To read the Bible, study it all day, all night, meditate in it all day and night. See what's going on in the world and teach the people the Torah and help them see it in a way they've never seen it before. That's the gift that I must give to the people. And when I get to the kingdom and stand before the judge of the universe, which is my king, I will have to give an account on how I handled the gift. And when that day comes, he's going to ask me, did you study? I did the best I could. Did you pray? Yeah. Did you read? Did you compare script with script? Did you try to help the house of Israel? Were you consistent? Did you just put out like one video, or did you try to put out a video as much as you can? See, these are the things I'm going to answer. Why? Because that's the responsibility that came with the gift. And I'm supported by those of you who understand that. I'm not trying to hide the fact I'm full-time. I don't have a side hustle. Why? Because the seers in Torah could not have a side hustle. I should say the majority of them didn't have a side hustle. When Yah called them, he called them out from whatever they were doing to follow him full-time, including Paul. Somebody said Paul made tents. Only reason Paul had to do that was because your ancestors were so mean. They wanted him to do all that teaching, and then when it came time for him to eat, they didn't want to give him a little offering. They didn't want to pay tithes. He was like, wow, why are y'all like that? But when you look at the disciples, he said, leave your nets and come follow me. Amos said, I was working in the field, and he told me to go preach. I can go on and on and on. Elisha was plowing behind, I think it was 9 yoke of oxen, when Elijah came to him and said, hey, man, you got to follow me. So we understand that. We should understand that. And when I realized what he was calling me for, I was not disobedient to the heavenly vision. I was not disobedient. I was like the Apostle Paul. I was like, okay, well, if this is what we got to do, let's do it. If this is what you want me to do, then let's do it. And the way I was to be supported was through tithes and offerings. Believe me, I looked a lot of ways. And I realized something. The number one way, according to the scriptures, to support people like me, those that are actually called, not the fakers, and those that are actually feeding the people the Bible, was only through the tithes and the offerings. That's all I could really see through scripture. For me, not everybody else. I'm talking about just me. And that's why we ask for your support. I have refused to receive any kind of, I haven't refused it. Nobody even offered it. conventions, associations, camps, and all that kind of stuff. I can't have a seer, a real biblical seer, cannot have any type of financial obligations to something other than Torah and someone other than Yahushua HaMashiach, our King. I cannot ever come before you all in a good conscience, knowing that what I'm doing it because somebody behind me is handling me. You know what a handler is? And you make sure you don't say this, and you make sure you don't say that, and you make sure you say this, and you make sure, and if you say this, we're gonna cut your funding, and we're gonna cut. I can't operate like that. I gotta be free. Well, how'd I get way over there? Oh, and because I am a seer, full-time, support the work of the ARK, especially those you look forward to us coming together on a regular basis. It's needed. It's not. And this ministry outgrew me a long time ago. Most of you all know that. We all over the world now, teaching and preaching and doing this work, and got a lot of people working with us. Staff, volunteer staff, some paid staff. It's a big thing now, and we need your support. Okay, that was a lot to say this. What more, Ray? I'm gonna tell you. We threw out every European explanation of the revelation. We flushed it down the toilet. Do you understand that? And we still have a lot of brothers that study in the Bible. And when I hear them preach, even though they woke to the fact that they're Israel, when I hear them teach the revelation, I can tell that what they are telling you, they got it from a commentary. They got it from a commentary written by a white man, a heathen. They got it from them. And they read the commentary and then told you what that commentary said. They didn't tell you what the scriptures actually say. Understand that. The Moreh's not doing that. What I'm telling you is what the scriptures say. I'm telling you these these commentaries are from Hasatan, the devil. So you have people who mean well teaching the revelation and don't realize they're still teaching a doctrine of devils. So let me share something with you all in the few moments I have left. Stop reading them damn things. Stop. Stop thinking you know something because you read a commentary. These commentaries are full of shite. They don't know what they're talking about. Talking about you ain't gonna be here. Talking about the book is scary. Talking about they don't know who Gog is, who Magog is. Blaming everything on the Russians and the Chinese. Blaming everything in the Bible on whether it's not premillennialists or postmillennialists or amillennialists and pre-rapture and post-rapture and all that kind of garbage. Boy, y'all better flush that down the toilet because it's shite. It needs to be flushed. The apocalypse. Where am I at on time? The apocalypse was never meant to be scary for us. The apocalypse is scary for them. The revelation is not called the apocalypse. It's called the revelation. Who is being revealed? Our King. Woo! Finally, our King will be shown to the whole world, and the world will see that the King of the universe is not Babylon. is not Assyria, is not Greece, is not the Roman Empire, is not the Western powers. That's what the whole book is about. It is not Babylon that wins. It is not Greek. It is not Roman. It is not the Russians, Ukrainians. It ain't no Palestine. Nobody. They don't win. It ain't Rome. It's not Italy. It's not France. It's not Germany. It's not the United States. It's not Canada. It ain't South America. This book is about one revelation that all of the nations connected to the beast are destroyed by our King, Yahushua HaMashiach, that King of Yehuda, the fourth tribe, of whom the Bible said the scepter would not depart until Shiloh come. That's him. Yes, the one they crucified. Yes, the one they hung between heaven and earth. That was innocent. Yes, that so-called black man that we made chat prove was a very, very dark man with woolly hair and black skin. That one is revealed. That's not scary for us. That's encouraging. What does it mean, Moray? It means that this white man and this white supremacy and all this white bowing down to white Jesuses and white Easter bunnies and white Mother Natures and white cathedrals and white preachers and white this and white that, we're going to find out something. They don't win in the end. That's why it's scary. It's scary to them because it's their demise. It's the fall of the beast. And if you in the beast and you worshiping the beast, then you going to hell with the beast. So the mindset of our people have to change. I might do more lessons on the mindset. This might not be the only lesson I do on the mindset. But the mindset has to change. Why? Because this is our king returning. And look, he ain't just no random king. He's a kinsman redeemer. He's coming to save us and destroy those who put us in captivity. That is the Bible, whether you heathens want to believe it or not. And I'm not the only one telling it. It's starting to be told now all over. I'm even hearing it in white circles now. You all know it's a high possibility. Oh man, my time is going out already. Okay. You know, it's a high possibility that the black could be the lost sheep of the house of Israel. No, it ain't no high possibility. It's a fact. How come it's a fact? We got the records. So I'm dealing with the mindset. This ain't no wondering thing no more. Everybody, the information is all over the world now. The question is, whose side are you on? That will determine how you end up in this apocalypse. If you understood that, put a 500,000. I just saw a little note on my phone letting me know that my battery ain't gonna hold up like I wanted it to, but that's all right. I will get my message, this part of the message out. I'm going directly into it. Put a 500,000. I'm talking about the mindset. It changes everything when you see that your king is coming to rescue you from those that have held you in captivity. That he's coming to rescue you and kill your enemies. And that as he does that, you're going to go through a lot. As he begins the delivering process, really is the word of salvation, because he's saving us. A part of the way he saves us is he must destroy the countries and the nations that are holding us. Because we're not going to fight the powers that be. We're not going to fight the king of killing and win our own freedom and independence. It's not going to happen. You can forget it. He has not given that power to us. He's given that power to the beast. so that he can preserve the beast. It's like he's reserving the beast so that he can kill the beast himself personally. Some folk, they're gonna just wipe out randomly. But then there's some people where he said that he has prepared a judgment, which means some of these white supremacists, some of these Hamites, some of these folks running the world think they all of that. Some of them he has preserved for himself to kill. He gonna take them out. He wants the pleasure in doing that. Why? Because you and I don't have that power. That's why we need a kinsman redeemer. And he's our kinsman to come in to redeem us. Watch. The mindset. If I've been captive, slaved, beat, raped, jailed, hung, disenfranchised, name been changed, land been stolen, living in the land of your captivities, still got to obey the laws of this land and all that kind of stuff. I can go on and on with that and how crazy, lopsided this whole dirty, nasty world is. And then I hear that that's not going to be forever, that our promised king is actually going to come back and rescue us. And then he's going to defeat the enemy, and the blood of the enemy is going to rise to the horse's bridle in the judgment. That's not scary for me. That's scary to the one who did that to me, or is doing it to me right now. People are looking at what's going on in the world, and people are freaking out. They can't believe what's happening. Not the more. You're not afraid that you might end up homeless? No, not really. What do you mean? I'm in the remnant. And if he got to destroy this whole world and it means I'm uncomfortable, that's fine. Look. Let me get this verse in this chat before, in this video before. Let me put this verse in this video before my the camera go off on me. This is what I'm talking about, mindset. Go back to that book of Philippians. Go to Philippians. We're going to look first at chapter 2. If there be any consolation of Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Ruach, if any bowels of mercy, fulfill you my joy, that you be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord and of one mind. Now watch. Watch this. Watch the mindset. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. No more fighting, no more self-promotion, no vainglory. Don't worry about that. But in lowliness of mind, esteem other better. Let each esteem other better than themselves. Look, not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. That means learn how to share, be kind. Let this mind be in you that was also in Hamashiach, Yahushua. It's a mindset. He's saying, listen, you all are operating with the wrong mind. But Yahushua, Hamashiach, has the right mind. So what is the right mind, Moreh? The right mind is the mind that is in Torah. The right mind is the mind that continues to live and to breathe and to study Torah. That's the mind. The right mindset is whatever the Torah says, that's what I'm going to believe. That's how I'm going to move. That's how I'm going to operate. When this happens, when you actually begin to have the right mind, even when it comes to the apocalypse, you get a shalom, you get a peace. Ooh, I hate to stop reading that verse right there because it talks about how he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore Yahuwah has highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Yahushua every knee shall bow, of the things in heaven, of things in earth, and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that Yahushua Hamashiach is the King, to the glory of Yahuwah the Father. Go down to chapter 4. Watch. Rejoice in Yahuwah always. Wait, what? You heard it? I didn't write this. Matter of fact, he said, rejoice in Yahuwah always, and again I say rejoice. What? Going through persecution, struggles, trials, poverty, pain, being misunderstood, being in the land of our captivity, being in the midst of all this wickedness, wars and rumors of wars, prices off the chain, our people look like they being destroyed for lack of knowledge, the world in turmoil, wars and rumors of war, signs in the heaven. I can go on and on, right? And then he said, but you rejoice in Yahuwah always. I gotta go. He said, man, you better fix your mindset. Your mind ain't supposed to be where everybody else's mind is. Everybody else got a problem with all this stuff. You are supposed to be able to look at Torah, look what's going on, and find a reason to rejoice in Yahuwah. And of course, in English, rejoice is a very interesting word because there's really two words, rejoy. So when we go to the Hebraic word of rejoice, it has to do with remembering something. Talk more, Ray. I gotta go. Hey, y'all, are y'all still with me? You better put in 900,000. I said when it talks about rejoice, he's talking about remembering something. We're going back to something that we can find encouragement. We're going back to something that we can find praise. We're going back to something that we can be grateful and thankful for. We read the Torah and we begin to have joy knowing this. What? That our Elohim is in control. Yeah. All we're supposed to do is obey him. Follow him. Matter of fact, you know what? I just made a conscious decision. We're gonna leave this video right here where it is. Because sometimes I'm in a rush to go through my list. I told you I got 15 things. I'm still really on just number 2. But I'll make a conscious decision. I'm going to leave it right here. Because y'all already caught that part. That's why it's hand claps and praises and hallelujahs all through the chat right now. Why? Because you see it. You're like, wait a minute. So yes, you're supposed to constantly return to the Torah. No matter what, you return to the Torah, and what happens is as we turn to Torah, then we immediately are returning to Yah. So when we look at Yah and his word, then we start seeing all the promises. And once we start lining up all the promises that he made, even though these days were coming, then it gives us a reason to have joy. And I was gonna get to this today, I didn't get there, but that's fine. Not only do we have joy, watch this, we also don't have no more anxiety about certain things. You know, we just celebrated the new year. And told everybody, man, Yahrahn called me. And he was like, Moore, you know, I'm queuing it up out here. So, you know, like me, I'm going to tell him, man, I'm on my way. Man, you queuing? What? And when I got there, man, we hollering, we talking to each other. And, you know, I'm going to say this out loud. I was one of the influences in Yahrahn's life that he moved out the city into the country. I'm not saying I'm the whole, I just had a little bit to do with it. And I also had a little bit to do with the fact that when he finally got out in the country, you know, encouraged him to actually start growing food and actually see what it's like. And so we went in the backyard and it's just food, just everywhere. Just watch. Some of it is volunteer food growing all over the yard. We just walking around that little, we ain't talking about nothing else right now, just edible plants. And after we were out there about 30 minutes just looking at what Yah has done and is doing, I said, so do you have any fear? He was like, what do you mean, of what? I said, of hunger. Do you have any fear? He started laughing. That's what I mean by rejoice. That's what I mean. Putting in work, doing what the Torah says, building houses, living in them, planting a garden and doing. See, a lot of times we don't do certain things because we don't know what Yah's talking about. But Yah is trying to put in us a particular level of peace that passes every understanding. You got to learn. So he don't have that fear no more. The one that everybody is threatened with, what is that? High prices. Why? Because if it get too high, he gonna go in the backyard and eat and don't pay nothing. He got stuff coming out the ground voluntarily. Y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you? Plants he didn't have to plant. Plants that planted themselves. It's been about 5-6 years, I guess now. It takes about that long to start getting the hang of things. You go through the ups and downs, you learn as you do. I'm only saying that because I want you to understand following Torah brings peace. Not sitting down just doing nothing, but actively be actively working through what the Torah told you to do so that when Yah wreaks havoc on the heathen, it don't affect you like it affect all the other people on the planet. Why? Because you're obeying him. And plus your priorities start to change. I ain't gonna do that right now, but a whole lot of things change so that you can have peace, so that you can rejoice. Even though Babylon all around us is falling apart, we can rejoice. I gotta go. Ooh-wee. Now my mind is just racing. Yeah, we don't have to let fear paralyze us. No, we're going to operate according to biblical faith. And as we, it's getting dark. I can see my phone about to go dead. I gotta go, y'all. But as we begin to walk in biblical faith, which is doing something, the more we do and the more we prepare and the more we get set up now, the less we're going to worry about certain things that the rest of the world is worried about. Why? Because we're being obedient to Torah. It begins with them 10 commandments. Don't forget that. Then it also has to do with loving your neighbor as yourself. That's in our laws. It has to do with paying your tithes and offerings. I'm trying to tell you. Begin to put those things into practice in your life. And there's going to be, in Philippians, I ran out of time and now my phone going dead, but then there's this wall that he says is going to keep you. It's in Philippians. It's a guard. It's a garrison. But anyway, I got to go. I don't know if y'all can still see me because my screen just went black, but it haven't cut off yet. But if you can't see me, put a 1 million in the chat. I love you with all my heart. Pray that our time together was profitable. Support the work of the ARK through tithes and offerings. We're going to continue to support you. And keep looking up, Zion. Remember, surviving the apocalypse really is going to